What up, though, my G's? Y'all should know what it is. It is Glitching Ass Watts, one half of the Blerds and Clips Podcast, right here on the Pro 3 ENT Network, delivering a little bit different of an intro because I have begun to get fucking frustrated, and I have no clue why this shit is happening. It's probably because we black. Maybe that's what it is.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus titty fucking Christ.
Jesus is the one. You know how you go. Oop. And ta-da! Random enough, right? We'll see what happens. Shit, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely preposterous.
Third time's a charm. Just ring the alarm. I don't freestyle, but I do this shit in the meanwhile. It's Vigatron 999. Step to me and talk shit. I dig in your behind. All homo.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Because we going to get canceled one day anyway.
That nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay, nigga gay.
I really thought you were going to avoid that because if there's anything that really led me to fucking hate, TikTok, even though I'm not on there, it's just me constantly filing through videos between Instagram and Facebook that came from TikTok, and it's just like everybody's doing the exact same shit. It's like it's all that nigga gay videos, the baby videos with the same caption and audio, all the chicks dancing to the same shit, shaking their thighs. I'm trying to think, what the fuck else is it? It's like everything is the fucking same. Like, I don't understand it. I guess that's old nigga rant. You know what?
No, listen, bro. I'm with you. And the thing is, Nick he's okay in real life. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he first started, like, picking up on the gram or whatever, I was like, yeah, this nigga's pretty funny. But, and he done some parodies, and I'd be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of them be funny.
Well, I'm not knocking him and or that song. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the fact that shit gets picked up for everybody's TikToks where they just constantly filming their friends eating hot dogs and bananas and shit.
Oh, and they throw that on top of it?
Right. That's what I'm talking about. That's how I get it, because I've never even heard the real song. Like, I've always seen that.
Nigga, he put that shit on Spotify, nigga.
Wow.
That shit is hilarious, bro. Like, and I mean, the thing is, it's one of them shits where it's like, nigga, that shit's fucking funny, bro. And I can't speak for him, so I'm sure that he done got some fucking kind of backlash or whatever, but it's like, clearly it's a joke, my nigga. And that shit is real life hilarious though, my nigga. Just because, not even so much because of the song itself, but the videos that I have seen niggas put it on that have been fucking fire. Like the one joint where the chick is holding holding him up by the legs and the ass, and they kissing and shit.
Oh, hold up.
Picking up on the gram or whatever. I was like, yeah, this nigga's pretty funny.
So, we got accused of our voice being low. Are you sure you're not just deaf?
I'm about to say, what? Us?
Especially I'm playing it through my laptop and it sounds perfectly fine. So what the fuck is this nigga here?
On the Blerds and the Clips, audio is the number one thing.
I'm looking at it on Facebook, and the same thing you were looking at, and it was live. I just had to mute the shit.
Sip and Chill Podcast. Marcel Deer, what's happening, man? Great to have you here as I sip orange spice tea and chill.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, this nigga sipping tea and shit.
Oh, it's awful too. This is crazy how disgusting this is.
So what's the tea?
Orange spice. And again, gross. That's all I got for you. This shit is gross.
Well, I was about to say, nigga, you playing
gross.
That nigga gay. Nigga,
shit is gross.
Drinking tea on a nigga's podcast. That shit is gay.
Gross. I actually was trying to drink the tea for the sake of my voice for the show.
What do you know about Malone? All I can tell you is that he's gay. Gay. Anyway.
Man, but no, that shit, like I said, nigga, when I seen a chick holding the nigga up in the air and French kissing him and they put that shit on top of the video, nigga, I'm like, yeah, that's hilarious. Clearly he's not gay. He's kissing a woman. But it's the fact that she's holding him. That's a banger.
How do you know that was a woman? Do you know that? Did she identify herself as that?
You right.
And I don't need you to mansplain this shit to me either.
Because she might have identified as the man and he might identify as a woman. Then therefore.
Thank you.
Wait. Damn. So that would still make that straight.
Yeah, don't they cancel each other out? Anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
Nigga, I thought this was Blerds and Clips.
It is. Y'all know what it is, man. Blerds and Clips, our TV, movie, video game, and whatever the hell else we feel like talking about podcast. As clearly we were just talking about some whatever the hell. But y'all niggas don't get these jokes, bro. You know what I'm saying? We out here in these streets. Just, okay.
It's a whole lot of gay talk, and we love the alphabet community.
Yeah. They're my niggas for real.
With so many of our friends, and well, I don't have any family that I know of.
I do.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, you could. Like I don't know of any of my family that definitively is and like is out, but I mean, yeah, I have plenty of friends that are.
Yep. Cousin, 2 brothers. Yep.
Okay.
Still love them niggas.
I'm not sure whether or not my uncle was. I mean, he died, like I said, he died of AIDS, but he also was a drug addict, so I don't know if he was. He never had no kids or nothing, so I ain't never asked him.
Well, you know, love is a drug.
Shout out to Uncle Larry, I guess. All right. That took a dark turn.
I know, right? Damn, man.
Speaking of dark turns.
Hey, listen, you know what? It could have took an amazing turn if your uncle's name was Charles, nigga, because that would have been just great. That would have just written itself.
Yeah, but
And I miss my dog, and then I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all. It's crazy that Uncle Charles is more famous than Wishbone, real shit.
That's fucked up.
And niggas don't even know who Uncle Charles is. Uncle Charles could very well have been a light-skinned nigga. Don't matter.
Uncle Charles will only be the nigga in the video. This point.
Yeah, you're right though. So clearly he wasn't a light skinned nigga.
Who knows? Niggas is high.
That's also true though. Well,
I'm go around put my finger on niggas' heads.
Yeah, nigga, that is fucking crazy. So listen, man, we saw a movie this weekend, and I have so much to say, but I'm gonna hold off for the moment and try to find something else to talk about.
Well, yeah, we saw a movie. I don't know if it was made for us. It was what they call alternative lifestyle. But I mean, we had to watch it for research. Yeah, research. So, and it was actually available on Pornhub. But again, just for research. We're just putting that out there before we even address it.
The Hub?
Yeah.
The Hubba Bubba?
Okay, whatever. Anyway, you trying to think of shit to talk about?
Oh, no. I was just saying that we should probably not necessarily be thirsty as shit and start on Spider-Man.
Well, it didn't really matter to me because there's other shit to talk about because we still didn't talk about Hawkeye last week. And then the other thing, because of the fact
it's getting worse and worse.
Oh, yeah, it is.
What is with this? Give me that bitch.
What's the deal with that?
Why are these people called fans? They don't cool me.
Yeah, okay.
See, look at that. Niggas ain't even moving. And we still moving. It's crazy. My nigga Retro Gerald and his bitch was popping, my G.
Other than we're twitching on Twitching, nigga.
We twitching on Twitch. That's some bullshit. Ain't that a bitch? Excuse the rhyme. Y'all know I ain't a rapper no more. And then all of a sudden we are not. Okay. And then we're not twitching now, but now we're a little laggy.
That's whack if the audio is perfectly fine, so niggas can like listen, but you know.
But our movements are stagnated, jittery. Okay, we clear right now. Yes, we are the crabs. Yes, we are the crabs. We'll pinch your nuts with our feet.
I know I need to make a change. I'm tired of looking fucking tired as fuck and shit. And throwing circles on
You mean
these
like a
goddamn
lifestyle change?
videos. I guess, nigga. Like, I don't know. I'm never overly critical. Well, I shouldn't say I'm never overly critical. I'm overly critical about how shit looks, especially when I be on this motherfucker. I don't know.
Hey, man, I love this nigga Jerry so much, man. Yeah, I was cool with y'all just going right in this spider. Look.
Well, like I said, I didn't think that we necessarily shouldn't. I was just pointing out to you if you weren't trying to. And I'm like, what the fuck else is there really? Other than, like I said, that thing, and then the other thing I was going to say to, what the fuck was the word I'm thinking of? To curveball you.
Immediately lagging again?
Yeah, whatever. To curveball you / I guess I was gonna say damn it, what's the word? God damn it. Niggas in writing and vocabulary just fucking like goddamn, you would swear I get high and I just can't think of simple ass words. To be that thing that women want you to be, or that I tell women to be, and I can't even think of the shit right now when I'm like, spontaneous. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, I'm gonna say, nigga, I was gonna say some wild shit.
I'm sure you were.
That's hilarious.
Like, paint be like one of your French girls. That's you. No, well, I was gonna say, since it is the season to be like, yeah, favorite Christmas movies, just to put shit out there. But you know, again, that can. Why you looking at me like that? What the fuck is that?
Oh, I'm gonna say, you ain't seen my post from the other day?
Nigga, I don't be looking at you like that, nigga. I ain't obsessed with you.
Batman Returns.
For some reason, I kind of doubt that. But if you said it, you said it. That's fine. I'm just saying, like, I probably would have said that shit to be contrarian, but the reality is that even though I like Batman Returns, it really wouldn't even still fit that category, because still, by all technical means, I still like Die Hard better than Batman Returns. So I would have to think about it. If I'm being straight up and being like, yeah, for real Christmas movie, then I would probably say, okay, it definitely would be A Christmas Story, because that shit's definitely.
I'm about to say, nigga, because I would say A Christmas Story.
Right, because I mean, that's classic.
It's the fucking best Christmas movie ever, bro.
Yes. So yeah, real shit, it'd be Christmas Story. But if it's anything alternative, then, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I can think of some things, but I'm like, do I really like that more than blah, blah, blah? So it's like, you know, I'm not going to say Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is better than, you know, Die Hard or whatever. And then I'm trying to think what else. Because all the fucking, whatchamacallit, what's his name? God damn it. The nigga that made Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Why can I not think of the nigga that was in Predator? Jesus Christ. Why am I drawing a blank?
Arnold?
Nah, not that motherfucker. The nigga that can actually write. Shane Black.
Shane Black.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm about to say Iron Man 3, right?
Yeah.
God damn it.
So I'm saying that Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, like all his fucking movies are
all Christmas.
But
no, yeah, definitely Christmas Story. Like for sure though.
But yeah,
it's low key not even close.
Right. For a real Christmas movie, yes, that's the only one I own. And I don't like Christmassy shit. And that's the only thing that surpasses that, because it's not a musical. It's as real as you could get for some shit at the time, and being like, it's very classic to me of being
so classic, bro.
In the theater watching that shit as a kid. And yeah.
This nigga, my boy Retro Gerald said, you wrong. Women don't want you to be spontaneous. They want you to be sensitive but aggressive, rich but always got time to lay up, freaky but not horny when she's not, thoughtful but don't give her anything, mean but nice, and a thug but professional.
Yeah, all of that. That's why I stay single.
The thoughts and opinions of Retro Gerald apply to everybody, nigga. Fuck all the bullshit which I thought I was gonna say, nigga. Yeah, quit playing. Yeah, yo, absolutely, bruh. Christmas Story is so this is the thing. Christmas Story is easily number one. I'm gonna put Home Alone at top 5 somewhere in there, because that shit just a banger. Realistically though, I really fuck with like, I mean, and like though it's like such an old timey ass classic that I think come on over here real quick. since you came down here. Two Bibs. Say what up, everybody.
Hi.
All right. Say good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right. Go and lay your booty scooty down.
Look,
I'll see you in the morning.
division.
Get out of here with mathematics. Okay, go on.
I love division.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
And my math teacher. Bye,
Bye.
Bye, Jaya. Good night. I love you so much. I'll see you in the morning.
One more question.
Go get some sleep, child.
One more question.
Yes, baby.
Are you posting this on YouTube?
Yes, I am.
I'm going to be on YouTube.
Okay, she gonna be on YouTube. She excited. Jesus Christ. All right.
It's almost like TV, but not.
Two Bibs. All right. So yeah. As I was gonna say, bruh, it's something about, and I don't know why that shit hit me so hard, but I was actually genuinely thinking about it and having a conversation with somebody about it this past week. But A Christmas Carol is a fucking great story to me. With Scrooge.
Okay.
It's the whole Christmas past, present, future. Very clever concept for the time that was written in.
No version ever stuck with me in that way, so I can't deny nor agree. I'm just saying, yeah, it ain't my thing.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Nope, definitely my shit for real. And the thing is, it's not like one of them joints that I particularly go back to watch. But as we were having a Christmas conversation, a Christmas movie conversation, and I was thinking about it, I'm like, damn, I really do fuck with that story though. But I don't fuck with any version of it in movie form that I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that hoe. But I like the story though.
Yeah, you would like a story written by a nigga named Charles Dickens.
Yep. If I had that pad on this one,
Well, that's what I was wondering. I was like, yeah, I didn't know where you had it.
yeah, I'm about to say it's like 3 pads down and shit.
Oh, fuck it.
Nigga.
I was trying to set you up for the alley-oop.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you. You know, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Home Alone definitely is high up there. It belongs. I'm really trying to think though. What other? I don't have no love for none of the Black Christmas movies. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's always about like the family drama, like the auntie and the grandmother that don't talk, or the uncle that was drunk or whatever, and then somehow everybody get together on Christmas Day and shit. And that shit whack. It's not impressive. So I don't really. It's always the same fucking thing. The Black Christmas movies. The white ones just be all over the place. And with that being said, sometimes you get some bullshit and sometimes you get a banger for real.
I know there has to be another one I can't really think of, but I was going to say.
I feel like niggas probably count A Nightmare Before Christmas.
I guess you could. I mean, I don't, it ain't.
I do though.
Well, I'm not saying you can't count it. I'm just saying it ain't for me. And I know for a fact when I saw that shit in the theater, that had to be more around Halloween time.
Yeah, of course.
Well, not that, but what I was gonna say, I would have to, I guess by default, throw Jingle All the Way in there.
I was about to say, nigga, Jingle All the Way, yes, because Turbo Man, my nigga Arnold, bro, and Sinbad throwing hands in a department store. That's great.
And for the record, I don't think it's a good movie, but I'm saying for just talking Christmas movies.
No, that shit has moments. It's not a good movie.
Yeah, it definitely ain't a good movie. But yeah, like I said, I'll give that a pass under the circumstances. I'm trying to go through a list to see if there's anything else that I keep forgetting about, because I think there are some that are subtle that I totally forget about, that are probably comedies that I totally forget is actually.
You can't forget Miracle on 34th Street.
Nigga, I can forget about this shit. I don't give a fuck about that. Anyway,
The Santa Claus, wasn't that Tim Allen? Those were good.
Well, yeah, I was about to say I just passed that on the list, and I was going to say that. Yeah, I wasn't mad at those. So
yeah, I actually
give
enjoyed
that
those.
Kind of a pass.
You know what? But there's a bias there for me. But when Michael Keaton was Jack Frost, my shit.
Yeah, it didn't. Nope.
It's Michael Keaton.
I'm just saying I never saw it, but
oh, okay.
nah.
Yeah,
As I said, generally speaking, I don't want.
So imagine essentially once he became like, I forget what the fuck it was, but Michael Keaton got like either cursed or whatever. He transformed into Jack Frost, a snowman, and in doing so, no matter of fact, he died. I want to say he died, and then his spirit went into the snowman, and then he became Jack Frost basically. But once he was Jack Frost, he was basically doing the Beetlejuice voice, which was great. So Beetlejuice voice coming out of a snowman for 2 hours was wonderful.
By default, because they had Just Friends on this list, I actually watched that enough, and I didn't really think about that as a Christmas movie, but yeah, whatever.
Just Friends.
Yeah, with the
With Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, the God Ryan Reynolds.
Oh shit. And he's Deadpool. Yeah, that count. That shit is fucking incredible. Super funny to me.
I just can't think of anything else. Like I said, I don't really fuck with Christmas like that. Like, you would swear up and down that my father died in a chimney accident, and that's nothing scarred about that shit for the life of me.
Right.
That's a Gremlins reference for all of you motherfuckers that don't know.
Oh shit, Gremlins.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily on my one. Like, ironically, like I said, you young motherfuckers, Gremlins came out in the summer, because I remember when we saw it, I think me and my mother went and saw that and Ghostbusters almost like on some double feature shit.
I'm just saying though, it's a Christmas. It's a movie that occurs at Christmas.
No, it does. I was just saying the irony of it actually coming out in the summertime.
For sure.
Like, they wasn't thinking back then to be like, yeah, let's put it out during Christmas. It was actually a summer movie.
Okay. So I got you. So check me out. I'ma go in no particular order except for Christmas Story being number one. A Christmas Story. I'ma go Home Alone. 2, Lost in New York. I'ma go Jingle All the Way. I'ma go Gremlins, and I'ma go Charlie Brown Christmas is going.
But that was 5 for you or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think that hard. But I mean, if anything, if we're going to say that, then yeah, Christmas Story, Batman Returns, Die Hard, Bad Santa, and I don't know.
I forgot about Bad Santa.
Maybe. Fuck it, I'm just gonna pick Just Friends, because again, I don't even fuck with these. No, Jingle All the Way, because if I'm gonna do that, because I brought it up before.
Ain't this something? I don't like it. Because now it's going hard again.
Shit going hard.
Going hard with an O. As Tony Baker would say. Shout out to Tony Baker, friend of the show.
Horde.
Horde.
Yeah, what up?
My GP Mac.
Retro Jetro, P-Mac.
Phi nerd.
And Jerry, and well, I guess earlier when we had Sample God in there.
Disappointed that the God couldn't stick around. You know what I'm saying? Because we was having technical difficulties. Well, as I was saying, it's crazy when you really think about it, because there are a billion fucking Christmas movies, I feel like, but it ain't that many like Christmas bangers for real.
The only thing I'm waiting for, the perfect Christmas movie for me, would probably be the one that really celebrates the meaning of Christmas, and Jesus is the one.
I wish y'all could see his actual face right now and not his jumpy, glitchy face.
It's the same. You're right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Well.
So speaking of Christmas shit, what?
Hawkeye is
Right.
Christmas.
That's what I was about to say. Nigga, you fucked up my segue.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll take it all back.
It's your flippy nippy flan yet.
Can't beat this nigga to shit.
I put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it in reverse, which I found out by fucking playing that shit on a cassette and then fucking playing that bitch at my computer and then using the media player on my fucking Windows 97 ass year of computer to reverse the clip, and I had to say that shit perfectly. And then when I played it, it said, "I put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it." And I said, "Oh, she literally reversed it." Hard.
It's your flippity double. So anyway, yeah.
And again, audio super crispy. These some good memes though. Hey man, this nigga Paris is hilarious, man. I wish everybody else knew how funny this nigga was.
True. Facts. Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. Not gonna lie to
Disney
you,
Plus,
bro.
Episode 5.
It has gotten good.
I don't know about good. Like I said, I'm still on par. I'm not giving shit extra props strictly because of the fact that it's maintaining. Like I said, it's fine. It's fine. It hasn't dipped off in quality, anything. Like I said, I'm totally happy with it. I've stayed happy with it. I'll probably say episode 5 is probably a little bit better than, say the one previous or whatever. But I mean, no, it was
definitely better than 4. I think 3 and 5 are the best 2 so far.
And I will give, if I'm going to hit the sexist angle and say, thank God for episode 5 because Florence Pugh made up for the episode prior because she looked way better in episode 5.
Bro, that is an attractive white woman.
But see, that's the thing. So I thought that watching Black Widow, and then episode 4 when she showed up, and I was just like, yeah, she just don't really look that hot. And then even earlier episode 5, since they showed her, from the time she got blipped and everything and coming in, it was like she don't look quite the same. But when she was sitting at that table,
yes, nigga, talking about that macaroni, I said, "Oh yeah, like, yeah, that macaroni for sure." Right. Sound like you making macaroni and cheese.
I was like, okay, she completely made up for that shit. Like whoever did her makeup and the lighting in that scenario, they took her back to be like, oh, okay, now we are back to what I remember.
Nigga, like, hey, listen, I don't know what she sounds like in real life. I don't care. But if I ever got to smash, I need that Russian accent.
Need that goofy ass, cartoonish ass Russian.
Yes, I do. Hilarious.
Put your black cock on me. Niet. Yeah, bad. All bad.
This shit is funny, bro. Listen, she's dope. And also, I think she's well written. And she's performing this role perfectly to me. From the Black Widow movie, she's one of the best parts because that shit is mediocre as fuck. What?
Do you want to watch Becca Watts fuck me, Kate Bishop? All right. I'm done.
Yeah. Man, listen. She fucking... When she fucking asked Natasha about why she do the pose in the movie and shit, fucking hilarious. One of my favorite scenes in that shit. And I was like, yo, she's funny as shit. I like it. And she was kind of nice with the little thickness in her little costume. For sure. And then in this, I'm like, yeah, she's dope. It's certified. I'm happy that we have her. And granted, Scarlett Johansson has signed on for some more shit. P, yes, just a second. Yeah, agreed. But granted that we don't know what capacity she's coming back, but she has signed on for some more Marvel shit. I'm not exactly sure what precisely that will be. So she may or may not make some kind of future appearance, whether it be some sort of flashback or comeback scene, something, whatever the case may be. I don't know. But if we don't have her, I'm fine with this Yelena character being in there as like the new Black Widow, because it's definitely, I feel like they are doing a good job at low-key subtly setting up the new motherfuckers that are going to kind of be the forefront as the old niggas get old.
Right.
And they not doing it in a way where it's just like, I feel like the only person that they doing it with is Anthony Mackie, where it was just like, all right, so Cap, they just aged that nigga to 1,000,000 years old, and it was just like, this the new Captain America. Shove. He the only person that I feel like they did that with. Everybody else, it feels natural and different.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but I mean still, I don't discount the Black Cap thing though, based on still what was done.
No, I don't necessarily either. I'm just saying I feel like it's the least smooth introduction to a character as they try to, not, and it's not even like an introduction to him. The thing is, I feel like it was supposed to feel smooth. Pause, which just sounds weird. It was supposed to feel smooth because we already are familiar with him as a character, but we got familiar with that. We got used to him being Falcon. So to then just be like, change his costume colors. Now he Captain America.
Yeah, but he still had to go through how many episodes? At least 5 other episodes before we got to that point, though.
I don't know.
You're not even gonna give him credit for that. It's not like it just left Endgame and immediately when it came back, it was like, nah, he still had to work an arc to get up to that point. You still feel like that wasn't worthy?
I think the thing is, it just feel weird that the nigga just ain't juiced up though. He ain't a super nigga.
I don't think.
Or is it because he black? He already supposed to basically be that.
Well, it ain't necessarily that. But again, it's like saying, you know what that's like. Nah, I don't like you doing that, because that's like motherfuckers talking about Batman, and then they say, well, Batman's worth is the fact that he's the one nigga running around out there that doesn't have the superpowers.
Well, this is the thing though.
So you get somebody else in that same vein where it's like, why does he have to be juiced up? Maybe that's the point of his worth, is that he's not juiced up and he's still worthy by Cap standards and everyone else. For him to be Captain America, it is what it is. It's like fighting with a handicap.
But this is the thing. I think that, granted, maybe they felt like they needed to give us this whole him tussling back and forth with it and then decide, because low key, at the end of Endgame, Cap is 1,000. He's out of there. He's 1,000 years old and he's going back to his woman. All right, cool. To give that nigga Sam the shield and he say it feels like it's somebody else's, and the nigga say it's not. At the end of that shit, we lightweight was like, okay. So then to go back and he be like, no, and then give us a whole arc of him not wanting to be it, and then just, like I said, then at the end it's just like suddenly, because that's the thing with how short these seasons are, it's literally like the last episode, the last episode, he goes from 5 episodes of not wanting to do it to all of a sudden being like, yeah. And I'm like, nope, didn't feel smooth because of that. I was lightweight all right with that nigga just being like, yeah, in the end game. Like, you know what? It is mine then.
I feel that, but I think if it was no different than if it was just done as a movie, you would still take a little bit more umbrance with that. And the fact of saying, all right, boom, he had a whole movie arc to come around to say, all right, this is my thing, or I've truly earned it. At the point, or had a reason to. I shouldn't even say earned it, but after the whole thing with Isaiah Bradley and all of the other stuff going on, getting to that point. What up, Josh? Josh and watching.
Josh, what up, though, my G? How you feeling?
So,
Mr. Martinez himself, top of the world.
So that's where I'm going with that. Just saying, whatever, man. Fuck Cap. Anyway. So, yeah, but so overall, episode 5, Hawkeye's still trying to figure out what's going on and why, he knows why Echo wants to kill him and trying to get her off of the path and trying to figure out who sent Yelena to kill him and get into that big reveal point, which was the big thing for the episode, I guess. I mean, it was something we basically already saw coming anyway, but just getting the whole reveal of the Kingpin being involved and it actually being Vincent D'Onofrio coming back to play the character. Still not necessarily confirmed whether or not if he's still playing the true Netflix version or if they are just basically doing a soft reboot with some of those same actors.
Yeah, the what we have gotten from just this few what we have gotten from Netflix, from Kingpin showing up, we don't have any actual indicators of whether or not this will be a rebooting of that, or if they are canonizing what has happened on Netflix thus far. I'll say that because I almost messed up.
Well, I mean, no, but I mean, because I was going to wait because I mean we're getting to that.
Yeah, no, I just figured perhaps I shouldn't spoil it.
You mean until we get to the review?
I was still thinking maybe not to, in case anybody hasn't seen it. Hey, listen, anybody who's watching, they did have the weekend, but you know, like I know, that shit sold out. It was aggressive.
It wasn't really sold out.
Shit, I couldn't get tickets again. I tried to get tickets again before the weekend was out. And
well, like I'm saying, nigga, I got tickets the very next day at 12:45, and that theater was not packed.
Really?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you did say you went again. I forgot.
Yes, so I saw it in less than 12 hours. Well, more than 12 hours, but less than 24 hours again. And I bought my seat out, and like I said, I was in the same seat, same theater. Still back in 13, G1. And there was nobody sitting next to me. In fact, there was only maybe another 4 people maybe in my row. It was not aggressive like that, even the next day. Which I
back at Willoughby?
Yes.
Maybe it's just the times that I was available. I was trying to look at. So I only looked at it a couple times, but they were sold out.
No, definitely was not sold out for me. Like I said, especially if you went in the afternoon. Because even when I got to the theater, it wasn't as many cars out there. It was like, okay, just a regular day or whatever. And I think when I went in there, I actually worked in a concession stand too, because I had actually got nachos since I actually came in there with something to eat. Because the night before, when we went there, I didn't go to the concession stand at all.
Dig it.
So no, it wasn't that bad. That's why I knew that whole thing of, Thursday night might have been more of a problem, but this is still Cleveland. I didn't really see it as being an issue after.
Yeah, my Saturday was smacked out, but I tried on we was together on Saturday but I tried on Sunday and couldn't catch one. JR caught one on Sunday, but it was at the time that we were going to record, so I didn't go.
Got you.
And tried to find another one, but I couldn't. I ain't never even fucking heard of Diamond Center, bro. But I saw Jerry say that they can keep Daredevil the same. I agree. I think that Daredevil definitely read, and I think Punisher read, and I'm fine with Punisher still being involved. You know what I'm saying? I'm all the way with it. I've seen it twice. I'm working 55 hours a week.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, nah, I'm gonna be honest. I've already seen it twice as well. So that's what I'm saying. I've seen it twice. We've already made it through the weekend. If you haven't seen it, it's not like we just started talking about it. So therefore, if you haven't seen it and you don't want shit spoiled, get the fuck off our live.
Yeah, you allowed to leave now, right? As much as we'd like you to stay, you know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna go ahead and spoil that whole one time with the homies that's in this thing that saw that thing. It's about to go down for real.
Yeah, because if one of your whack ass friends or social media friends ain't ruined it for you already, like I said, we definitely about to get into it. Because what's the point? Because we're not doing a show this weekend. So
I thought we was doing Sunday.
Did we confirm that?
Yeah.
Oh,
we got a guest on Sunday.
I don't even remember shit. Who the fuck is on Sunday?
I'm sure we got 2 guests on Sunday. The other Dave.
Oh. Well, I just saw him last night and he didn't reiterate that. He just kept saying, I got to see it so we can come in there and talk to y'all about it. He hadn't even seen it last night.
Trash. But yeah, we are supposed to have the homie, friend of the show, Dave Flint, pulling up on us one time, as well as the time traveler from 2005. If you ain't hip to him, just go to YouTube and type in Time Traveler from 2005. It's hilarious. Now, with that being said, you have been fairly warned. We are about to spoil Spider-Man No Way Home. Even with the camera glitches, this bucket should pop up at some fucking point and you will see the motherfucker. Because I definitely paid the $21 for the limited bucket with the Spider-Man designs on it.
How much?
$21.
$21.
It was $21 for the bundle, actually. So it was the popcorn and it came with the large drink, which I had a cherry icy. So I have both my bucket and my cup. You feel me? And I also have here at the table my No Way Home Spider-Man and Supreme Doctor Strange. You know what I'm saying? I was ready today, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get into this Spider-Man No Way Home. Shoots a web in your eye. Ski, ski, ski. Bitch, surprise. Look out. Here come the Spider-Man.
Wow. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Yay.
Atlas on Lakeshore. Yeah, ain't nobody going to that hole. Them motherfuckers only got stadium seating in one auditorium in there. So any of the other ones are flat, the whole shit. So you're looking directly at the back of the nigga head in front of you. It is so fucking frustrating. As much as I used to love going to Atlas, but when I realized, like, for real, like, what is it I don't like about this fucking theater? And I started going to Richmond Ward. Well, yeah, it's just that because it's in that fucking one floor building.
Right.
Like they only have one. Like I said, they got the one that they dug that hole out and made it stadium style. And if it's not that one, like I'll find out if I'm gonna go to Lakeshore. I gotta find out if the joint I'm going to see is in that one. And if it's not, I might.
And even still, if you're in the bigger one with the stadium seating, that shit is still old, nigga.
Yeah, but it's just the stadium seating that makes a difference for real.
Well, yeah, it may, but again, that's for the same reason that we don't really go to Richmond.
But imagine if if you was trying to watch that movie and you are eye level, and I mean, like, I'm talking about like nigga right here, the nigga in front of you head is right there.
No, I got you. I've been in there. I've been in. That's where I fucking saw in Guns We Trust.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sitting right behind the nigga. So no, it ain't that. It's just.
But I feel like they did that one in the stadium joint, didn't they?
It was in the smaller.
Oh no, it was the one off to the right.
Right.
For sure.
So it was that, and then like I've seen other local movie premieres in the bigger one that you're mentioning with the stage and everything, and that's cool. But them seats are still like old school, so that's why I'm like, I can't even go to Richmond at this point because it's like I'm so spoiled on the idea of like, nigga, I want my big ass seats with the big ass cup holders and being able to recline my shit and pick exactly where I'm going to sit. Where if I got to walk up in that bitch, worst case scenario, I had to tell the nigga, hey, you sure you're in the right seat? Because I did have to do that when, what the fuck did I see? It must have been maybe Eternals, because I'm trying to think of what came out before Ghostbusters that I saw. But when I got there, some dude was sitting in my seat, and it's like, nah, nigga, get on the other side with your homeboy. You know
Right.
goddamn well, this ain't your seat. You tried it, but get the fuck up. So, anyway. Nonetheless, so Spider-Man No Way Home, starring Tom Holland. Jenny Rich, Dumber Snatch. Zendaya and yeah, I should have said Bender Dick's Bandersnatch. What I should have said. Zendaya and Jacob Batalon and the motherfuckers you already saw in the trailer, basically, and Willem Dafoe, and Jamie Foxx, and Alfred Molina, and Thomas Hayden Church, and Reese Ifans, playing all the motherfuckers respectively. Doc Ock, you know, Green Goblin, Electro, Lizard, and what did I forget? That quick. Oh, Sandman.
Sandman, yep.
Right. So
Thomas, yeah, you mentioned him, Thomas Hayden Church.
No. I know I got his real name, but I just didn't say the character.
Oh, for sure.
All right. So that being said, if you've seen the trailers, we spoiled nothing yet. So no. We still in fair game territory. Yeah, everything that you saw in the trailers was all of that, and they did it for that very reason, to show you what was there, but they didn't show you the little shit. So, major gripe number one. So, having watched it twice, and my main issue why I had the so-called screw face, according to this nigga, because of the fact that I wasn't all giddy when we finished it. Haven't seen it a second time. Basically, the whole idea of you finish off with Far From Home with the Spider-Man is Peter Parker. What the fuck? Like, this going to be some big thing, and then you wait this 3 years or whatever before this sequel comes out, and it's almost like that shit is an afterthought. It's like they spend the first seemingly, I guess, like 20 minutes to a half hour dealing with this as if it was some big thing, and it felt like no repercussions whatsoever about people knowing that this nigga was Spider-Man. Like nothing. Like the whole idea is like if you were a superhero and other than damage control coming to address the fact that you did a bunch of damage and maybe been responsible for somebody's death and or Aunt May being like it's on some child neglect shit, all of these things seemed like they were going to be something just to go, okay, well, you know, just go to school and just have all your friends take pictures of you, and you think it's kind of whack and you still applying for colleges and whatever. Like there was no threat. They weren't worried about security. None of this shit even mattered up until the reason why he even bothered to ask Doctor Strange to make people forget was because him, MJ, and Ned didn't get into MIT because basically it was looked at as a threat. And once that happened, then the movie actually got interesting. So I would say if they redid it, I would have rather them, as soon as it started off with them picking up exactly where Far From Home left off, if they would have started it where he would just grab MJ and swung off and say, you know what? Let me go see if Doctor Strange is home, and immediately went there first, I would have been like, okay, I'm all right with this. But to build it up like it was going to be such a thing, and they just kind of acted like, yeah, whatever.
I feel you, but I also feel like it low key from the trailer. It was a thing where we knew that he was going to Doctor Strange. So they just wanted to show us not even that it was so much like the stakes was crazy, but just like you got to think about it from this perspective. Like all these things was happening, but at the same time, it was a whole bunch of like, you possibly could be child neglect. You possibly could this happen. This possibly could happen. And to a teenager, these things that like we see the shit and we know that all that this could happen. This might happen. This possibly could be bad shit. But when you fucking getting picked up by the police and questioned and all that shit to a teenager, that shit seems extreme. Just like when you in love with a fucking with somebody in your class and shit, it seems so fucking real and deep and aggressive. But when you a teenager, but then when you're a grown up, you barely fucking remember that person. It's like I think that was the perspective we were supposed to get, was understanding that like it low key was just more than anything kind of like a nuisance and some bullshit happening, but it all was compiling on a teenager that made him feel like I got to do something.
Right, but here's the thing.
So what I'm saying is shit don't be that deep, but the teenagers it do be.
Okay, maybe. But what was the resolve as far as him basically being accused of killing Mysterio, and then he was just let go on his own reconnaissance? Like, exactly. Had it been Miles Morales, that nigga still be under.
But that's the same. That's the thing, though. It would have been. It would have been. Well, just in general, like I feel like they kind of like use that opportunity to like fast forward through. Like, technically, we ain't got nothing on you other than like the hearsay from these couple little video clips, and boom, here goes Matt Murdock, bitch, Daredevil in this whole. Oh,
you could have probably introed that better, but nonetheless.
I mean, I'm just saying, like that's all it was for at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was, but I mean, you know, you could have led up to that a little bit better.
I'm sorry.
It was anticlimactic.
I'll let you do the rest.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I'm still trying to get around the part of even moving past the point of just saying, yeah, it seemed like such a dour thing, and especially the way they did the trailer where it's like, oh yeah, just everything's in slow motion and it seems so sad and blah blah blah. And then when you're actually watching the movie, the whole music choice was completely different from that, where it wasn't all like super sad. It was more like not necessarily jovial, but it was one of those like, okay, well yeah, I'm just going to school after being accused of murdering a motherfucker and being Spider-Man. Like, Who does that? Like at this point, it'd be like, yeah, I guess homeschooling.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, what the fuck? How am I showing up to school for first day of senior year? On top of the fact that that was my other thing that I realized after the fact was that it was a poor execution in what do they say? In time elapsing. Because if they were going there, this was supposed to be their first day of senior year. And then other than the small like montage of getting letters from all of the schools that he had applied to, then when they get the MIT thing, dude is like, yeah, MJ, I thought I'd take down the Halloween decorations. Mm-hmm. So the only way you would get told to take down the Halloween decorations, that by that point it would have to be at least November. So It's like you're going at least from August to like I said, September or so, and then being like, all right, well now it's just take these things down. There's nothing that gave me the implication that time went by, and even still the time went by, where's all the legality about what went on if you got your identity done and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now it's like 3 months later and you're concerned about not getting into MIT. There was nothing that was done that made any of that shit seem grave. That's the only real nitpick I had about that.
Yeah, I feel like that was the the light portion of the movie.
Right. And agreed, but compared to
it opened up with some shit that could have been heavy, but it never got heavy, and then they just rolled into actual light shit. And then as shit just became more of a nuisance than anything, and I felt like, you know, the only thing that was of any actual consequence was them niggas not getting into to the college, to any of the colleges. That was like, oh, that's fucked up for all three of them though.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. So that was where they dropped the ball. So if that was like the first third of the movie, or I don't know, however much, that would be where my issue lied. And then after that, by the time that he went to Strange and asked him to, you know, do the spell where everybody would forget that he was Spider-Man, then it got interesting after that point, because right after that, he goes to talk to old girl at MIT. He's on the bridge. That's where Doc Ock comes in, and then it officially becomes completely interesting from that point all the way to the end.
Yeah, from the moment when the villains show up, that's when everything turned up for real, and it stay up.
Right.
Viagra.
So yeah, it absolutely did. So yeah, other than the fact of bringing in his legal help. So yes, the rumors, like expected, in the same way that Vincent D'Onofrio got revealed on Hawkeye, then Charlie Cox is back as Matt Murdock in some way, shape, or form. And again, we will see what they do with those characters and those actors going forward in the MCU to see how that all works out. So, in doing the spell, Doc Ock shows up, fight ensues. In the middle of this fight, then Green Goblin shows up, and next thing you know, they get whisked away to being back in Doctor Strange's dungeon. And Doc Ock is being held captive because he took part of his Peter's suit. Thus, it's Stark tech, so it ex machina its way into Peter being able to take control of his arms. So thus, he actually was using his own arms to hold him captive, and Doctor Strange was holding him within the confines of their little dungeon there with the magic. So where now, since all of these people slipped through, he's now been given something where he needs to web all of these dudes back to get put into the dungeon, so then they can basically do a big reversal and send everybody back to where the fuck they belong, because his ass fucked up.
And here I was wrong. That the thing that caused them to come through was actually the Doctor Strange spell being corrupted from Peter constantly making it change, and not that Loki, that Sylvie killing He Who Remains split the multiverse open. I thought that was what that was. I thought that's what it was. It even looks like what it was with the fucking purple fucking crazy shit, and us seeing Venom get popped into this fucking universe and shit all made it make sense to me. But nope, just the fucking spell went wrong, and it pulled through it basically pulled through a bunch of motherfuckers who knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, and that was the whole thing. That was the explanation. Everybody who knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man had the potential to be pulled into the universe due to the spell.
Right. But some squeaked through. So, thus those villains. And, each introduction. So, I guess the main thing to say here about the villains, which so many other people have said in their reviews, and this is true. The reason why it was enjoyable due to the villains is because of the fact that where you would expect a movie like this to basically introduce characters you've seen before, you think they're going to kind of come in on some, extravagant cameo shit and then just kind of disappear. Or maybe they're going to show up for the last third act and then they're going to be gone. Just a big fight thing. But each one of these characters and each one of these actors were actually given time to develop their characters, pretty much with the exception of Lizard was the only one that didn't really have any type of arc, but all of them surprisingly had some type of arc.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is why it was actually a lot more enjoyable in that sense where, you expect them just to kind of be a throwaway situation, but everybody got some time. And they took some time with them to develop and everything and get to the point of where they were. So that's what was truly dope about that.
Yeah, I think it was like way nuts to see how like strong and aggressive and fucking nuts that Green Goblin was. And how much of, and like Retro Gerald said, like how much of a problem that nigga really is. Peter was socking that nigga head for real, bruh, and he was smiling. Like he was hitting that nigga hard in that hallway when they initially started fighting.
Horde,
bro. He was hitting that nigga. Like it was like there was additional base on those punches. It was like they wanted you to like feel the force of how hard he was hitting that nigga, and he was just like, nah, nigga, we throwing hands. And I'm like, yo, this crazy for real. Everybody said it was a super emotional story. It definitely has some emotional moments for real. It was all just like that. It was all that shit of watching a teenager's life fall apart. In some ways, over dramatic teenage shit, but in some ways, actual fucked up for real.
Yeah. But, I shouldn't say but anything. So, that was cool. Lead all the way up to, I may really introduce into the idea that Peter should be trying to help them rather than send them back to a timeline where they're supposed to die or whatever. Not even going to nitpick about any of the inconsistencies about that. But with them trying to work that,
well, yeah, but bro, no, because that's there. Because they definitely, it seems, it's like, yeah, all of these motherfuckers died at the hands of Spider-Man. That's not necessarily true, though.
But that's what I said. I'm not going to nitpick about that. I'm not about to go off on a whole tangent about that.
Right.
Me personally, like I'm saying.
I mean, Lizard technically didn't die.
Right.
Neither did Sandman.
Right.
And, I mean, Doc Ock, yeah. But at the same time, like, yeah, well, they generally just saying that they die fighting Spider-Man. Doc Ock dies not necessarily fighting Spider-Man, but he dies in a situation with Spider-Man. Green Goblin dies at his own hands in a fight with Spider-Man. He's the same man. And Electro, yeah, I don't remember. I think somebody turned off the light switch. I can't remember what happened. It wasn't good. So I just can't remember. I just know that the nigga was blue.
Right.
And I felt like that, and I felt like just alone I felt like the explanation that we didn't get, but were supposed to deduce on our own, is that our universe being different has different frequency, has a different power. So when he reassembled himself from the power of this universe, it made him different physically. is what I gathered.
Yeah, I mean, okay, but again, like I said, I'm not going over that with a fine tooth comb in the sense that there was anything to be lost or overly nitpick. Because if that's the case, every superhero movie has situations like that, and I'm not about to you to death. I'm not about to you to death the shit,
Right.
and going over that. So it's like, it's fine. I'm okay with that. So getting to that point, the only thing I feel like is worth pointing out is just the typical Deus Ex Machina shit where it's like, hey, and Tony Stark made a machine that just fabricates shit. That kind of bothers me. This is like, hey, we just have something that just can magically.
It just makes anything.
It just makes anything that'll help all of them. All right, that was fucking dumb. But being that it had some areas of helping.
But the thing is, it's not like it's something that they didn't lay the groundwork for, considering that is how the nigga's suit was completely built, like from, you know what I'm saying? Like initially the suit was showing him like putting his hand into the thing, looking at it, fucking with the specifications, and then the machine building it. Or like shit, the same with fucking Vision. Like Vision was coming together in that box. It looked like lasers was just putting him was just like slowly like filling in like a digital model, and it was just becoming real as it was coming up.
Understood. So but that makes it better.
No. What I'm saying is it's like it ain't like this the first time we done seen some bullshit like that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, I'm not gonna harp on it. But that's just one of those things that's one of the things that stands out to me was like, nah, that has to be at least recognized in some way, is the fact that, yeah, you have a fabricator that's making shit. But, so, they get to a point where they actually cure Octavius and everything seems to be working. But, of course, Willem Dafoe doing his best Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn and his bitch. There's no denying about that.
Nigga solid, bro.
Absolutely.
The voice, it was so different. And I don't feel like I appreciated it as much back in the first Spider-Man.
Right. Well, there was at least one scene. Well, you know what it was? It was the scene where he was talking to himself kind of in the mirror, where I did appreciate that from the first one. For sure. You're right. So I did like that. But yeah, he brings it back tenfold comparatively to what he did in the first three movies. This time it was really like, yeah, he put his ankles in it. His low key up to the calf muscle. Would say. He put his ankles in it. So yeah, he did an absolute fucking phenomenal job of being the worst version of Green Goblin we've ever seen. But knowing that he was going to be underhanded and sneaky, because that's the way he does with his dual personalities with it. And of course, fucking chaos ensues with everybody basically fighting. Well, really, it's Octavius and Spider-Man versus the other three, in essence. Right. But Octavius is taken out fairly quickly and just peeled off. Right. No clue where the fuck that nigga went. Like, no clue where he went for 40 minutes. Like, yeah, I'm out. Like, no, I don't want no smoke, and runs off. But then, yeah, and well, technically everybody left really except for Goblin, because he first was attacked by Lizard, and Lizard was kind of helping Goblin, but once they really got into it, they all left, really. Yeah, niggas was just gone out of nowhere. Right, it was gone. So May's there. So the one thing that we don't see coming, so this would be the second most relevant spoilery thing coming at you now, that we don't exactly see coming, other than until like foreshadowing right before it happens. Yeah, I did though, unfortunately, because I opened up YouTube earlier in the day. You should have. Your fucking fault. That's my fault. I opened up YouTube. Absolutely, that's my fault. Yep, that's what I said. I was not on it. And that shit, right there in my suggestions, somebody leaked it and had a minute and 30-second clip. And I didn't watch it, but just seeing the title alone and the screen grab of it was like, right. Fuck! I learned that a long time ago. Like, yeah, I can't even look at anything because, yeah, even just a title for a video can give you all kinds of implications to be like, yep, piss me off. So I'm very happy that I didn't get anything confirmed for this movie until I actually saw it. Like I said, speculation outside of the fact of Charlie Cox, that's speculation. Kind of figured that was going to happen, but no one officially
saw a leak of them at the
me.
table.
Right.
Like a month ago, though. This was a long ass time ago. I don't even know how the fuck it happened.
Yeah, like I said, regardless of whatever may have floated out there, like I said, nothing was confirmed to me. So I was at least like, all right, cool. This is all coming here. So, glider being set up, the Goblin glider being set up just like from the original Spider-Man, basically to comes through, completely fucks Aunt May up. Now, they did a great job in how they presented it because she took that glider to the back, and then once all was said and done,
damn right she did.
I don't know, I feel like that was a stretch.
Oh!
Just because it was glider, like if I'd have said like she took that thing to the back, then that would have been perfect.
No, I just assumed it was lubed up. So
That glider, okay, man.
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So the fact she took it to the back, and then you give her some time, and she actually gets up, and it's not anything obvious because I was thinking she should have been impaled in that bitch, but nope, she gets up, she's stumbling around. Her and Peter are like, yo, okay, we still got to get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you cool, and then of course she does that typical where she starts dropping off, and it's like, oh, see, something's gonna happen where something that we didn't see was the case, and sure enough, she definitely got stabbed in some way. Boom, 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 boom. Anyway, and yeah, and fucking Aunt May dies in Peter's arms, and it was very sad and all that shit.
Yeah. I saw the goddamn clip. Shit said, Aunt May death, Spider-Man No Way Home. And showed a picture of her laying against that motherfucking slab of boulder that she was on. And I was like, fucking bitch.
How do these bitch ass niggas sleep at night?
Right.
That's what I don't understand. But anyway.
Giggity. And I also saw a clip that said, fucking, so it was like, it was like 2 thumb flicks. It was like, fuck. So I flicked past it. Mm-hmm. And nigga, it was like a video. It was like a sponsored video, and then the next one was Toby and Andrew entrance. Like fuck, nigga, like in one fucking swoop, nigga.
You saw that the day of.
The day of.
You fucked up, big time. You truly fucked up big time by doing that, especially after you said taking the sabbatical on the shit till you go see it, and you couldn't resist, and you fucked up. Anyway. Sorry for you, because like I said, it was absolutely wonderful for me then. Even though we hadn't even got to the shit, you've already ruined the next, the next thing, the next spoilery. But we'll get to that anyway. So yeah, so from Aunt May being dead, and yeah, that was truly him learning right before that, him finally getting the "with great power comes great responsibility" speech, and so he leaves off. He's forlorn as shit about everything. Now, backing up, what we kind of skipped over was the fact that since Doctor Strange was really ready to send these motherfuckers back and just be like, fuck them, they die. If they die, they die.
Yeah, if they die, they die. Straight Rocky.
He was straight on his Drago shit. If he dies, he dies. So the whole thing you see from the trailer is basically Spider-Man fighting Strange to try to keep, get the MacGuffin box
right
away from him, and he ended up in a situation where he actually locks Strange away in the mirror world. What's up?
Oh yeah, you ain't seen the Gerald's message.
What's it say?
Said, no, Vig, a motherfucker came to my stream one day before it got released in America and told me about Andrew saving MJ and Aunt May dying.
Yeah, see, that's fucked up. That's why.
Came in his stream while he was on Twitch.
Right, that's really fucked up to have somebody come on your stream when you're not looking for it. You're like, hey, this ain't even got nothing to do with that. And somebody comes on your shit, man. I feel. And
he said it's because somebody from America spoiled Endgame for him.
Hurt people, nigga.
Facts.
What the fuck? Jesus Christ. So the fact that so she's dead now. So yeah, and the fact that when Spider-Man and basically Doctor Strange gets locked off into the mirror universe, mirror world kind of thing. So he's incapacitated for a while. They run off with the MacGuffin box.
Right.
And due to this, Ned ends up with wow, that's weird as fuck. I haven't had that fucking hat on in a minute.
What is happening?
I haven't had that hat on at least for the last 10 to 15 minutes, and that shit's still popping up with it on my head. That's weird.
That's hilarious.
So anyway, Ned gets a hold of Doctor Strange's sling ring, and so thus he's fucking around with it. Yeah, I'm gonna tap that ass, baby. I have to put on this sling ring.
Yo, but to use another nigga's sling ring is crazy. One size fits all, baby.
Like, clean that shit first. So he has Strange's sling ring. He realizes that, you know, there's some foreshadowing in supposedly like he may be a little magical, and so he's trying to open portals, and they realize that, hey, you know, he's looking for Peter, and all of a sudden they get the little sparklies and shit, and so it's like, okay, let me try to get.
I'm sorry. The fact that he got on Stranger's sling ring looking for Peter is crazy.
This fucking guy. So he's got on Stranger's sling ring. He's looking for Peter. He's looking for the right Peter. In fact.
Right.
And he gets to swirling around, and all of a sudden, boom, they see in the distance in an alley, hey, there's Spider-Man. It's like, hey, is that Peter? Now, the one thing that I wish they wouldn't have done, they kind of ruined, was they shouldn't have MJ say when they were looking at him like, yeah, that's got to be him, right? See, they didn't need to have her say that.
Yeah.
They should have just said.
They telegraphed it.
Right.
At that
They should have
point.
just said, hey, Peter. Yeah, there's Peter. Peter, come here. And then the motherfucker comes through the shit, and it's obviously not Tom. It's not Tom Holland's Spider-Man because it's not the same suit. To which you can speculate who was there until, without fail, he removes his mask, and it's fucking Andrew Garfield.
Yo, Andrew Garfield is a fucking liar.
Which I love because of the
Same.
fact that I want to see all of those previous interviews that I didn't really want to watch where he just kept denying it.
Oh, yeah, no,
That's
I
what
watched
wanna see.
everything, bro.
I want to see a compilation of all the times he kept denying that he was in the movie.
I haven't gotten the call.
Right.
Fuck that nigga. Like, my nigga was. He said he got to the point where I'm sick of talking about it. I don't want to talk about Spider-Man no more. Stop asking me. Listen, I just don't want to disappoint y'all, and I'm just keeping it funky. You'll see when you see the movie. Please stop asking me about Spider-Man. It's not happening. I'm sorry. I didn't get a call.
So he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Absolutely.
That was great.
But now nobody will ever believe nobody again when they supposed to be. And that leak. You ain't see that? You saw the leak?
I saw
The Andrew leak
screenshot.
specifically.
Right, when he was on the scaffolding.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Motherfucker.
But at least still at that point, it was still speculation where it's like, yeah, that could be anything.
Yeah.
So I didn't really make a big deal about saying no. But regardless, we didn't go into this thinking that wasn't going to happen anyway.
Right.
Right. So it was one of those things.
But
like,
I just was going to be blown if he really wasn't, though.
Right. I would have too, but we pretty much knew from the get-go, it's like, nah, they're going to be in that shit. And then by the time that last trailer came out, it was like, in the lizard shit, it's like, well, it's obvious they're hiding something. It's happening. Because that, you know what, that's exactly what it was. When the first time when we were watching it, that's probably how I can equate it. Me being kind of, I don't want to say bored in the beginning, just more like, okay, it is what it is. All I was waiting for was the other shoe to drop. So the whole time I'm just watching it like, after Doc Ock shows up and the villains start coming in, and all I kept thinking to myself was, okay, when are the other Spider-Man going to show up?
Yeah, for sure.
That's all I was waiting for, was just figuring out how they were going to do it, how they were going to be introduced. So Andrew Garfield shows up. Boom, he's there. They realize, oh, okay, that's not the Peter we want. So he goes back in. Okay, show me Peter Parker. You know, blah, blah, blah. And another portal opens up, and fucking youth pastor ass Tobey Maguire comes through that bitch.
When he called that nigga a cool youth pastor, bro, that was a fucking perfect joke, bro.
Yeah, everybody seems to mention that in all the reviews and shit.
No, I hadn't. I mean, I didn't think about it. I'm just saying. So right now, mentioning it again, though, like, yeah, that shit was funny, bro.
But no, I'm just saying it's universally obviously funny because there's not a review that I see that nobody mentions that.
For sure.
Everybody mentions
We got to intentionally make sure that we don't mention it in ours.
I'm confused. Is this not the review, or are you talking about something else?
No, I'm saying like an actual physical, like the physical review to like specifically just to review the cut and post on the YouTube.
Nigga, I thought you were going to do that last night.
I shot it. And I didn't mention it, but I thought we would. Well, you know what I'm saying, fuck it. I thought we potentially would do like a separate spoiler one, but fuck it, we doing it right now and just like that. Yeah. I was just saying something low key short form that we could post.
I feel you, but yeah, it's not really necessary. Like I said, if you did the one, you should probably just still post the one. And
okay.
Like I said, because getting into a spoilery shit, I mean, yeah, we're doing it. It's like having the whole conversation all over again. So yeah, the cat's out of the bag. Finally, boom, both Andrew and Toby actually are in the movie. Showed up. Their interactions with Peter, definitely dope. And again, same thing with the villains. You would think that it was just going to be a third act thing of them just showing up and it kind of being like some kind of glorified cameo with them just helping them fight, and that's not what it was at all. Like, these motherfuckers are really supporting characters in this movie throughout like the last third or half of the movie or whatever, which I didn't really expect. And so, like I said, everybody got their time. There was a lot of development between all of the characters where that's what made it right. It was fan service at its highest degree, but it was done in such a way where it didn't feel cheap as fuck. The same way that I felt when I watched The Rise of Skywalker, and I groaned all through that movie with every goddamn fan servicey thing they did. I hated it. And this was fan service done right.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed Andrew's introduction more than Toby's.
I did, but
because I felt like Toby was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm Spider-Man too, dog," and niggas was like, "Okay,"
but it's not out of character for his character.
No, I feel it. I'm just saying it was. They just made it. They made Andrew's more interesting.
I guess, but I was okay with it just because of the fact that it was like.
You know what? But I forgot because them niggas immediately got to fucking flipping webs at each other. So that was low key dope.
Well, that too, but I'm just thinking more like it was like pulling the Band-Aid off. Once the Band-Aid was pulled off, where it's like, well, Andrew's here, so you know what's coming.
Right.
He didn't really need to do anything spectacular.
the fact that Toby called told Andrew about how amazing he was. I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah,
you're amazing. Amazing Spider-Man. You're amazing. Okay. Right. You're not lame. You're amazing. I see what y'all did there.
Yeah, that's a little heavy-handed for me.
Yeah.
I get it. But so I didn't need him to come in more than subtly he came in, because it was very much like his Peter, the more timid version, you know. Timid
Peter. This is hilarious. This review is great.
We rep Timid Deer.
Right. Timid Deer Lane.
I ain't repping no Timid Deer. Anyway, so yeah, that was hell well. So I mean, the whole interaction, like I said, between them leading up to the final fight with all of the villains and getting them all cured, and then yes, even still from the original Goblin fight was already intense enough in the building, in Happy's building. But then during this last fight, then yeah, Goblin was a fucking monster within this shit. And yeah, Tom Marsh should say Spider-Man won. Which I feel like is disrespectful, because it should have been like, how you gonna call Toby Spider-Man 2 out of that, just being out of that order, but whatever. But yeah, the whole idea that the Goblin was just so goddamn ferocious and that much more crazy and just so goddamn visceral in that fight was pretty goddamn dope. And everybody having their moments for them to do Spider-Man shit all together, and seeing 3 Spider-Man on you know.
Why didn't I do this a long time
in a
ago?
frame all at the same time was like so goddamn dope. Oh, you talking about the fact you could just did that that way? It just been something.
Yeah, why didn't I do that?
More, and then them motherfuckers gonna start twitching.
Or even this. They fucking better not.
That I don't like that one because that feels like
The end.
Yeah, it feels like end
For sure.
credits. But anyway, yeah. So I guess yeah.
So when I post this, I'll post it with this over the whole thing.
All right. Well, unfortunately, yeah, y'all can't watch us Twitch anymore.
Y'all can't watch us Twitch on Twitch.
Yeah. So yeah. So I mean, I basically say that to say, obviously, like I said, I was very happy with the way it turned out. Very happy with the ending and everything. I didn't really want to go through a whole synopsis of the movie, but I mean, that's at least where I'm going to leave off with it in case you have something else to add to that in more detail. But I was happy with it, especially after watching it the second time. I was more than happy with it. I only had issues with the beginning. Everything else I was fine with, period.
Yeah, when them niggas swung, exactly. Like that they were fucking each other's webs up at first. Yeah, pretty much. No, listen, Andrew was amazed by the organic web and grossed the fuck out at the same time. He's just like, how? Like, where is it coming from? And the fact that Toby was like, listen, I'm really not trying to talk about this. And it was just really fucking dope, bro. To see Andrew, like, I knew, bruh, that Andrew was gonna be the one to save MJ in that fucking exact mirrored fucking fall that Emma took as Gwen.
Yeah, we definitely knew that.
But it was just a thing of how and why would he be the one particularly, and of course Goblin. So cool. Seeing Electro juice the fuck up with the arc reactor was dope, and how those things all came to be. All of that shit made perfect sense. It was all dope. Lizard was kind of fucking pointless, low key, but okay, sure. Of course, the motherfucker was like strong and fucking low key horrifying. So that was cool. I think that the moment when they clearly tried to coordinate and it was like Toby and Andrew was low key fucking up, it was like, yo, nigga, I be by myself out here. And it was dope to have Tom be like, nah, nigga, look, I do this group shit. So, like, follow a nigga lead right now. And that's low-key how he became Spider-Man 1. But then I guess automatically by default of, like, experience, Toby became 2. And Andrew made it funny to be 3. So, that was cool. Then to see them niggas all swing together and then land together, hit the Spider-Man landing 3 different ways at the same time. I was like, nigga, I swear to God, I want to draw that so bad. And I started to grab my phone, but I couldn't get it quick enough to fucking snap that shot. Like, I don't want to bootleg the movie. I just wanted that particular fucking image so I could draw that hoe. And I'm going to when it's available for real. Which we can talk about may happen sooner than later. So I think that ultimately the fight was dope. I think it was well done. It was cool to see Ned tapping into the powers. It was very dope to see Toby stop Tom from going full fucking dark. But it's a dope thing that we got that to see that he not only could, but was willing to go there because he was about to fucking body that nigga. And the way he was fucking hitting that nigga at that point was even worse than the hallway fight initially. He was beating the dog fucking shit out that nigga, bro. It was happening. Like, nigga was about to die. Just to turn around and fucking still shank the nigga Toby in the back. I thought they was gonna kill that nigga.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought he was gonna die. So when he didn't.
But that's kind of the whole thing of them subverting expectations where, yeah, you assume, especially even with the music cues and everything, you're like, oh shit, they're gonna kill him off just to kind of make his arc final here. With the fact that he was like, yeah, I've been stabbed before. It's like, I like that. They actually didn't go there in a way that you didn't even really expect. You thought it was gonna be that fucked up, but it was just like, nah, nigga, I've been stabbed before. It's fine.
Right. It was, man, bro, like this movie is so this is the thing. We talked about it on, matter of fact, we talked about it on Everything and Then Some. The episode that I sat down with Asia and Jerry, and this came up, and it was, is it possible for this to be better than Endgame? And I told them, yes, it is possible for this movie to be better than Endgame if the first 2/3, if the end sequence is really dope and the first 2/3 are better than the first 2/3 of Endgame, because after initial watch, niggas don't really watch the first 2 hours of Endgame. Low key, you have it on in the background, and then when the third hour is on, you start paying attention. So I'm like, if this movie is solid 2/3 of the way through, that potentially could make it better than Endgame. But there's no beating that last hour. And no, this does not beat the third act of Endgame by any means. But it ain't that many other motherfucking third acts that get this close, though.
No. But yeah, it's not. I'm not comparing it to Endgame because regardless, Endgame's lead up was a little bit too epic in the sense where you can't. The payoff is way different. There was way too much build up for Endgame, dealing with years of build up to get to that point.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, yeah, strictly though, movie for movie, first, second, third act, verse first, second, third act. And like I said, like I think, but the thing is, because the first act of this, first and second act for real, are not like super amazing, I can't say it's better.
Well, again, you know what the difference is? Cool moments within Spider-Man, third act, were more like, hey, that's cool. Hey, that's cool. Hey, that's cool. In-game things were more like, hey, that's cool, but a relief. Hey, that's cool, but a relief. If you understand what I'm saying, like there was way more, obviously with the difference in, like I said, with not that you didn't like it, but like I said, certain things that were more effective because you really liked the Avengers Assemble thing, which I didn't like as much just because if he would have yelled it, I would have thought it would have been more effective.
I feel it.
The same thing for me.
That was definitely a creative choice because I feel like they probably shot it both ways and went with the more gritty version.
Maybe. But Cap picking up the hammer was not only, or the whole reveal that he threw the motherfucker at him and then catching it. That wasn't just, hey, that was cool. That was also, man. Finally.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. I didn't have anything like that in Spider-Man. It was just all cool shit, but nothing that was building up to it that felt like this is also a sigh of relief on top of it being monumentous.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is though? Low key. Well, the thing is for that, we don't have or didn't have the same level of losses as a whole.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So
in this by comparison to even get that. But then at the same time, when looking at that, there was no, it's like you didn't have the same level of loss for sure. And then ultimately, I mean, you felt like you had a level of danger, but it was not nowhere near the same. It was not into the world level of danger though at the same time.
No, it wasn't. But it wasn't even still about, you could say it's partially about the stakes. But again, if we're going to go with the casino comparison and Sam Rothstein, like it should be equal number of blueberries in every one of these fucking muffins.
Right.
Them two are two blueberry muffins. Spider-Man being a blueberry muffin where it doesn't have an equal amount of blueberries in it. It can taste fine, but it's not as densely packed with the good shit, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Thus, Endgame being that difference where it's like, yeah, they may kind of taste the same, but this is not why I'm not comparing them.
For sure.
Because no matter how good you think Spider-Man is, or if you're saying, hey, it's great, it's still not going to be Endgame because Endgame is packed with a certain level of density that Spider-Man could just not have. That's why it's like, I hear you, but I still can't even compare it. I
feel it. I think that this is the Spider-Man equivalent for sure, though.
Yeah, without question.
Yeah. This was definitely Spider-Man Endgame for sure. I think ultimately we got to see still immature teenage Spider-Man. We got to see fucking late 20s, early 30s, been through some shit, like got angry Spider-Man, and then we got to see like been through fucking everything old nigga Spider-Man. That's just like, hey, bro, should be alright eventually. You know what I'm saying? And that was dope. That was definitely dope to see the three phases, to see them all together. Like I said, in the lab, I felt like I wanted some more actual interaction with them. Kind of like it was like, yo, I'm Peter Parker. Yo, we all smart. Okay, well, let's all take a different task and go to separate parts of the lab. And I was like, no, like do the work by each other, like just for some more quips and conversation and shit. That was all I really wanted, which is a little bit more of that. I was fine with the scene as is, but I thought that would have just been more opportunity to really have them like really interact and get more in depth. Because I feel like in real life, if I met a different fucking me, I have so many questions, bruh. So many questions.
I understand.
Niggas was just kind of like, oh shit, you're me from another world. That's lightweight crazy, bruh. Like the fact that them niggas got to the end fight scene and then went, who's the craziest motherfucker you ever fought? Like I would have been found that out, bruh. That's just me though. You know what I'm saying? An inquisitive ass nigga. But like, nigga, this is some crazy shit right here.
I understand, but 2.5 hour movie.
And what I'm saying is they had them there in that lab together, and that could have been a part of that 2.5 hour movie. Just a little bit more of that conversation. Because that banter of them back and forth right there that they included in just that couple minutes while they waited for the villains to pull up and shit was like, it was fire. And I wanted some more of that with that time. I feel like they could have gave us some more of that and peeled back some of the first 40 fucking minutes.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's where the trade-off comes. But I mean, adding more to that would have just made that movie longer, but they had already built it up based on that first premise. So that's why I said I would have rather them just immediately go to Strange, kick things off, and then you could have gave more time to the other stuff. But that's why I said that's why I'm leaning that way. But
I dig it. Ultimately, this shit definitely came out dope. The fight scene with Doctor Strange was definitely dope. The fact that, like, I don't know, it was like his like connected, like his body like still having the spider sense was still keeping the box away from Strange.
Right.
That was dope. I think we just got a lot of really cool ass fucking moments. But ultimately, in the end, we saw a new level of maturity in him for him to not interject himself into Ned and MJ's lives. But, which, may or may not stay the fucking case. Unsure, unclear. But what is clear is him having Strange go through with the spell, like we talked about outside the theater immediately after, where we met a bunch of cool ass dudes, by the way. Shout out to them. We saw the classic suit for the first time, which he made himself. We saw him, obviously, since Peter Parker technically didn't fucking exist, he didn't go to his high school getting his GED. So we saw that. We saw him get an apartment, which means he also has to get a fucking job, which he didn't have. So now he has to go fucking work somewhere. Quite possibly, obviously, likely the Daily Bugle, which got blew up and went from fucking from J. Jonah Jameson's apartment to an actual fucking studio over the course of the movie, which was also a thing that was supposed to give us an idea of the time that passed.
I don't think it's going to go that way, but
I mean, presumably, because it very much looked like this is going now the direction of traditional Spider-Man stories.
No, I'm not denying that. What I'm saying specifically, the Daily Bugle thing, because of the fact that they altered that whole source of Daily Bugle, because of the fact that newspapers are dying and it's not really a viable thing now, it doesn't stand to be profitable why he would work for the Daily Bugle. So I think they're going to keep it that way, assuming that they're doing this. They're going to keep it that way.
No, but you saw it. They went from, like I said, at his apartment on the green screen to full production in a studio. Because it's digital media now.
Yeah, but
Same way TMZ is profitable as shit, and all they do is post gossip.
that may be
On the
case.
internet.
I still don't think that he's pulling in that kind of income where they're going to go that route with it.
But you see, he's super obsessed with Spider-Man. It's everything feels very much so. It's just, I feel like this is just going to be an updated version where he'll feed pictures of himself to Jameson the same way,
Well,
but just for the
ultimately-
digital shit.
Ultimately, what the fuck do we know? So I'm not telling you that that's not going to happen. I'm just thinking.
I'm just saying that's what it feels like. That's what it felt like it was all alluding to.
I just don't think it's going to go that way because if he's the fact that I'm glad they kept it realistic in the sense that he has to get his GED now. So if he's getting his GED, that means if he's moving to college, I think he's going to probably end up going to Empire State if they still try to move it that way toward like comic like, and he would be more likely to have like a job or something dealing within the school. I don't really think that they're going to go that media way.
Well,
for some reason.
all I'm saying is, these are things that are now possible because of the spell going through. Because before,
No,
it was
I'm agreeing.
absolutely no fucking way
No,
that he could have. Because with J. Jonah Jameson and everybody else knowing that Peter Parker is Spider-Man,
Right, I totally get it. I'm agreeing with you on that, saying, yeah, we're talking about the possibilities. I'm just speculating that I don't think that they're going to go that route.
you think you're gonna go the pizza delivery route, the Toby route?
I think he's going to do something different, but Jonah's still going to be there on his Alex Jones shit, being obsessed with it. But I don't think Peter's going to be working directly under him in any way.
Understood. Well, I think.
But anything's possible. Like I said,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Because like initially, I mean, outside of kind of wanting to do the job, it was also a thing of like trying to clear his name, like while keeping his identity secret, like trying to clear the Spider-Man's name. And since J. Jonah Jameson was his like number one detractor, like it made sense.
Right.
But I feel like just in general, the way that they wrap this shit up with having the spell go through and erasing everyone's memory of him, like I said, he is now no longer an Avenger. They don't know who he is. They know motherfuckers know who Spider-Man is, but they don't fucking know Peter Parker. They don't know him as Spider-Man. They don't know him. He's separate. He's out of that. He doesn't have anybody. He don't got Stark Tech no more. He don't have any support system. It ain't no Uncle Ben. It ain't no Aunt May. He's solo. And that takes him, even though he's still air quotes in the MCU, he's technically completely separate from everything.
Which is true, but that's more of a business move because if we're talking reality, it would be so easy to fix all that shit.
Right. What I'm saying though is it's a thing where the setup was said business wise. If a new deal ain't struck with Marvel, then he's out. And
Right.
and this is all so that is already so his exit is already set up.
Right.
So that is wild to me. But I thought to myself though, and this is where I get to a potential issue, but whatever. I also heard a potential solution, which I don't really buy. But them putting the spell through, snatch everybody back to their universes. If the reason for motherfuckers getting popped into the universe was on the strength of the fact that they knew who Spider-Man was, or they knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, then there's no reason that Venom should have come through. Because he don't know who Peter Parker is. Because there is no Peter Parker in his universe, to our knowledge. Mm-hmm. And he's also not even in fucking New York. He's on the other side of the goddamn country, even if there is a Peter Parker there.
Mm-hmm. So where they went with this is a stretch. But they were talking about the symbiotes being hive mind. And even if we're going by the Topher Grace version, was saying that, and he even shouldn't have known that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, other than the fact that since the symbiote was on Peter, then I guess he would. So they're going by the idea of like, yeah, if the symbiotes are hive mind, that's the reason why he would have known. Because remember, it wasn't even so much that Eddie Brock didn't know who the fuck it was, but the symbiote was more reacting to Peter.
For sure.
Eddie didn't say shit. He was just like, oh, what's going on? And the symbiote was like, yeah, something about that guy. So, anyway. but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. It just felt mad inconsequential for them to make that for them to make that happen to bring Venom into this world. Because the thing is, if they follow through on that, now snatching him back and then the symbiote be a piece of the symbiote being left behind, which it can now do like it did with what the fuck was the first one, Riot in the first movie. The one that attached to like a little girl, then like a grandma, and like walked across the country to go find the Indian nigga.
I don't know. It was
Indian Elon Musk.
dark CGI monster.
Elon Musk. Yeah, well, White Venom from the first movie. So now, essentially, we know that this thing will, because that is a part of Venom, and Venom wanted fucking to find Peter Parker. It's gonna go find Peter Parker. So we'll get Venomized Peter Parker. But does that then mean that once he gets rid of it, now they're going to have to go the route? They got to go one of two ways. Either to get rid of it, it has to be destroyed, so it'll be a one-off thing, or he gets rid of it and then makes it onto this universe's Eddie Brock, and that puts us in a situation where now we have two different Venoms, one that they make movies for solo, and another one that only pops up here and there in the Tom Holland shits.
I hear you. Here's why I don't like speculating about all this shit. Because it's inconsistent. It's the same way that the reason me not watching a lot of anime, because shit be too convoluted. So here's where you have to wrap your mind around. And this is why I'm totally done with this shit. So you got symbiote being left in the universe with Tom Holland Spider-Man. Even though Venom is within his own universe, but Morbius knows who the fuck Venom is, at least as, character.
Right. But Venom but Morbius is for sure in this universe because of Adrian Toomes.
Right, but that's the question though. Is he? That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying because of Vulture though.
Right, but we don't know any of this truly. That's what I'm saying.
No, but see, this is the problem. Because now, within that Venom trailer, we have seen him walk past the poster that had Tobey's Spider-Man on it. We've seen him interact.
In the Morbius trailer.
Right, in the Morbius trailer.
Right.
So he walks past the poster with Tobey's Spider-Man on it. We've seen him interact in conversation with Adrian Toomes, Vulture, Michael Keaton from this universe, and then reference Venom clearly from a different universe. So what the fuck universe is Morbius actually in?
Exactly. So you see why I'm like, yeah, nigga.
The frustration.
That's why I don't do no overthinking about this shit. It's not for me to decide because these niggas are writing it, whether they're doing a good job or not. It ain't up to me.
Ain't that a motherfucker? I'm salty now. That just frustrated me.
Yeah, I was watching a video, I think maybe last night, in regard to that. And when that really got put to me, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to let them do whatever they're going to do.
Yeah, you're right. You are fucking right. So that made the first post-credit kind of. The second, though, Doctor Strange 2 trailer, lit. Seeing this motherfucker, Supreme Doctor Strange, bringing What If into the actual live-action MCU.
Which I really don't give a shit about. And then this was funny because of the fact that I was talking to Cool Matt the other night.
My G.
And yeah, because he had called me and we were talking and he was like, yeah, how cool. He basically asked me how pumped was I about that Doctor Strange trailer. And I said, not really, because I said the whole thing about, because he mentioned about the Dark Doctor Strange and I was like, yeah, but I'm like, it's just basically bringing up the same thing we've already seen in What If. And he admitted then, he was like, oh, I didn't watch What If. And I'm like, well, you're fucking up. So that's why I don't give as much of a shit, because had they never touched on that in that show, I would probably think, yeah, it's a little bit more interesting. But it's like, yeah, now I'm like, I don't really know where you're going with this. So again, like everything else, I reserve judgment until I see the film. But if I'm only basing it on that trailer, I'm not amped. I'm going to see it, but there was nothing about that made me.
It didn't feel like a trailer in real life, though.
I mean, it really was. It was a teaser preview trailer, no different than when they did with Avengers at the end of your favorite Captain America movie.
That's some bullshit.
So same thing.
I really feel like it felt like more so like clips, like on some like sneak peek, a couple like sneak peek clips, and then they kind of gave us a little chunk that felt like a trailer.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a trailer though. Maybe it's because I'm so fucking like used to, like my brain is so programmed to like fucking YouTube shit where it's like Doctor Strange trailer is happening now, and then it actually slow down and start. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't want to go there, but I'm like kind of like, yeah, dude, you doing too much. Like,
I'm saying it didn't feel like a trailer, and then it also didn't have a little, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, you call it first look or whatever, but I don't call it first look unless they're showing behind the scenes shit, and being that everything that they show was strictly dealing with the movie. When it first came up, I thought that it was going to be a real post-credit scene or whatever, but then when it went into that, it was like, okay, well, this ain't really tied into anything other than just a prelude to the movie coming out next year. So, whatever.
For sure. Well, shit. Overall, this movie, for me, was an 8.5.
Word.
Out of the 10.
So you're waiting on my answer?
Something like that.
That kind of reminds me of the whole thing you talking about, me seeing your post. I'm like, nigga, I already said this on JR's post earlier today when he tried to claim. Did you happen to see that where he was calling himself Vigatron Jr.?
No, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, so he made a post saying that he was Vigatron Jr. because he wasn't super flipping out about Spider-Man. And then I was like, hold up. I was like, no.
Hold up.
I'm like, that's not what I said. I said I had an issue at the beginning, but I was like, overall, my score is probably 8.5 out of 10. That's what I said. So no, same thing. What I was going to jokingly say, I was going to say in the vein of William C. Washington, I was going to be like, yeah, man, this movie was absolutely fucking excellent. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. But yeah, that'd be that bullshit.
There go that bullshit. Hilarious. Yeah, bro. Look, I think yeah, man, I don't really know what more real life niggas could have genuinely really asked for.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm cool with it. That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna give me the nitpick about, oh, this could have been blah. Like I said, once it kicked off, there's nothing I can really say about it because they met and exceeded expectations and things that they could have done that, like I said, I didn't groan not once watching that shit.
Yeah, I mean, like I think fucking Andrew and getting some comedic moments with him, also getting the redemption moment for him saving MJ, solid. Everything else could have been mediocre, and I'm happy with having those moments. Like him just jumping with the one hand and sticking to the ceiling by the fingertips made me laugh hard, bro. Like this is plenty. Like this is plenty. The fact that she was throwing bread at that nigga, like you don't get the tingle thingy. I got the tingle thingy. That's funny as shit. That was dope. That was well done for me. Then with Toby, low key, the middle back thing. And motherfuckers was like, yeah, see there, he's referencing the fact. I've seen reviews already, and niggas like, yeah, referencing the fact that he's been Spider-Man so long. No. It was the fucking one moment when the nigga, the first time his web got crazy and didn't fucking come out, and that nigga fell like fucking 75 feet and smashed that fucking tube on that fucking ceiling and blew his back out on that bitch. So for him to have a middle back thing, that was a reference all the way back to that. And that was funny for me. I was like, dope.
That was actually twofold because he had really supposedly hurt his back doing Seabiscuit. That too. And they thought he was holding out to try to get more money.
Right. So. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, definitely. But that was the first time that the nigga web didn't work, and he chalked his back on that piping on the ceiling. That was fucking hilarious. So, I mean, I just felt like we got a real dope ass moment with each of them, having to see Peter, because we never saw the Uncle Ben death for Tom Holland, to see the May death, and then to see him low key go fuck this shit and like lose all hope low key for trying to fucking be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and save everybody and do all that shit. And then to see him get the turnaround from that and finally be able to let go. Like, I feel like we got a solid ass couple moments with each one of them that really gave me gratification with each of those characters. So I am pleased.
Work.
For sure. Oh, I was going to ask you if there's anything else that we should cover, but we are 2 fucking hours in.
Nigga, there is nothing else I want to talk about at this point.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We out here. 2 hours in these streets. And by in these streets,
it took a
in
while.
my basement.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I knew it felt like a couple hours at this point, but
yeah. At this point, I desperately want to get a bottle of agua.
right.
So yeah, with that being said, my G's, if you would like to tap in with us live as we stream on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, you can do so. All you got to do is just be following the gang, preferably over on Twitch, where you not only can follow, but you can comment and you can even subscribe to support the squad when we get it cracking like stripper butt at twitch.tv/BKA Watts, and of course the Pro3 ENT YouTube channel. Make sure y'all tapping in with us. Send your questions, concerns, comments, and show topics over to us at blerdsandclips@gmail.com. You might see something you send to us incorporated into the goddamn show. Be a real one, interact with us, we'll interact back. That's kind of how this goes. Make sure y'all following the squad as always. I am available everywhere on the internets at BKA Watts.
And I am available at Vigatron 999. And also don't forget to anally probe that like button.
Absolutely. Make sure that you racially profile that like button and bring yourself back for another exclusive edition that only you and everybody else with the internet can get of the Blerds and Clips podcast. As always, love, peace, and goddamn chicken grease.